As of October 10th, 2018, Next Generation AccuPlacer has been launched. New scores have been established by the math department and new reference documents are now available. We will review some samples using the flowchart. This resource is the recommended resource to review when looking at scores. You can also find a detailed narrative, and both of these documents will be found in the current advising guide. Students who will be taking the test will start by taking the quantitative reasoning and statistics, which we will refer to as NGQS. If they score 240 or more on the NGQS test, they will then take the Advanced Algebra and Functions test, which we will refer to as NGAA. If they score less than 240 on the NGQS test, they will then take the Arithmetic test, which we will refer to as NGAR. When reviewing the flowchart, you will use the NGAA score first. If that score is not listed, then you will go to NGQS. Let's take a look at some examples. Example 1. A student has a score of NGQS 220 and NGAR 215. Since an NGAA score is not listed, we will move down to the NGQS score, which is 220. In this case, we will move to the left of the chart and follow down the flowchart under less than 240, and now we will go to NGAR, which this student scored 215, so we will continue to go to the left of the chart. In this scenario, the student has placed into FS 107. Here's another example. A student has a score of NGQS 220 and NGAR 255. Again, since the student does not have an NGAA score, we will look at the NGQS score, which is 220. Again, we will go to the left side of the chart under less than 240. Now we will look at the arithmetic score, which is 255. Here we will move to the right side of this area here, and this student will place into Math 022 or 090. The student is also eligible for Math 172. Example number 3. This student does have a score of NGAA, which is 220, also an NGQS score of 245. Since the student does have a score of NGAA and is less than 250, we will move to the left side of the chart and continue down to look at his NGQS score, which is 245. This takes us to this area here, and this student has placed into Math 090, 33, or 045. You can refer to the Math Endgame document in the advising guide on page 21, which lists the math requirements for each major to determine the best course for the student. In this example, the student has a score of NGAA 230 and NGQS 275. Again, since the student does have a score of NGAA and it's less than 250, we will move to the left side of the chart. Now we will take a look at the NGQS score of 275. We will follow the NGQS scores, and since it's more than 270, this student will place into College Level Math 103. Again, you can refer to the math requirement in the Math Endgame doc that's located in the advising guide to determine which math course is required for the student's program. Now let's take a look at this example. A student has a score of NGAA 255 and NGQS 260. In this case, since the student has a score of NGAA more than 250, we're going to move to the right side of the chart in this area. Since this score is 255, we will move down here where we can see the NGAA score is between 250 and 269. This indicates the student is eligible for college level math, or refer to the Math Endgame doc to determine which math course is required for the student's program. Another example. A student has a score of NGAA 280 and NGQS 280. By the flowchart, we will look at the NGAA score first. Since the student has a score of 280, we will move to the right side of the chart And then we can see that the 280 will fall in the middle here of NGAA 270 to 289. In this case, we can see that the student is eligible for Math 119, which is pre-calculus, or the other math classes that he could be eligible for depending upon the requirements for his program. The final example. A student has a score of NGQS 290 and NGAA 290. Again, since the student's score is 250 or more, we will move to the right side of the chart, find the NGAA area of 290 or more. We can see the student falls here, and the student is eligible for Math 121 or the other math class that's required for his program of study. You can find this flowchart along with a detailed narrative and further examples in the advising guide. Thank you.